Welcome to another week of A Friendly Nudge. So this week we are making pesto. And this is kind of the ultimate play with your food because we're going to kind of adjust, you're going to eyeball it and adjust your quantities as you go along. I've got an arrow garden, so I've trimmed a bunch of basil. It's probably a minimum of 2 cups, but you don't have to have that much. I'm using a clove of garlic, a handful of pine nuts, and some pecorino romano cheese. You could also use parmigiano reggiano, and then I've got the olive oil. And I'm going to make it in a mortar and pestle, but you could also use a food processor or a blender. I just kind of want to go old school on this. So I'm just going to peel all of the leaves off or pluck them off, whatever you want to call it. And then I'm going to chop it with a knife because I'm going to get a lot of that breakdown done, using the sharp edge of the knife. So getting it all nice and chopped up. And then I'm going to smash the garlic with the flat of the knife and then take the skin off. And then, just cut it real fine. And then I'll let the mortar do the rest of the work. So getting it, chopped up really good. And then we're gonna add it to the mortar and pestle. So putting the garlic in, then I'm gonna add the basil, and I always add salt at the end. Some people put it in early. I don't want to over salt it, so I'm gonna put a reasonable amount of pine nuts in. You can also use like pistachios or walnuts. And I'm just going to give it a good glug of olive oil. We're going to add more olive oil as we go along. And then you're just going to grind it with the, with the mortar and pestle. And like I said, you can use an immersion blender. You can use, any kind of mixer. And then I'm just going to grate the pecorino in. And then as I'm going to add more as I go along. But I'm going to, just get some added in there, and then we're going to kind of stir it in and just adjust it. This is one that we'll taste it several times. But, I'm using this to kind of break up the pine nuts, and then going to add a little bit more olive oil. Everybody always talks about the Mediterranean diet. I think one of the benefits is all of the olive oil. So I always try to, I don't spare the olive oil. I'm trying to be generous with it in dishes that I'm doing because it's just a great way to add flavor. And I'm going to add some more of the pecorino romano. And it's made from, it's either goat or sheep's cheese. So this is one that Jude can handle. Cow dairy sometimes really messes her up. So this is a great alternative, and it tastes delicious. So I'm just going to, get this stirred in real good and, kind of using that grinding motion of the mortar and pestle. And now it comes the taste part, and it's like, okay, I wasn't going to put lemon in, but now I'm actually going to use a half a lemon, and just, I'm not like going crazy with it. It's like I'm probably putting in like maybe a tablespoon. But this is where you just start to adjust to taste. It's like if it tastes great for you without the lemon, then by all means do it that way. And then, what I want to get it all mixed in. And what I realize as I'm tasting it is that, okay, it does need just a touch of salt. So I'm going to add just a little bit of salt. And this is going to be the piece that's going to take it right where I want it. So be sure that you play with your food. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you guys next week.